Right, Saturday evening at the Waikiki Arena here at the Masters. Got another treat for the clients. We've got Paul McGinley in the house, being interviewed by David Livingston up on stage. We're going to talk about obviously the Masters, Rory's chances heading into tomorrow, and obviously again the Ryder Cup. Paul McGinley, ex-Ryder Cup player, won the Ryder Cup as a player at the Belfry, also won it as a captain at Gleneagles. This could be interesting. Let's go get inside and watch this stuff.
I want to introduce a few gentlemen. First is the golf lead anchor, Mr. Sky's Golf, Mr. Livingston. Good evening. Thank you for coming back. Please put your hands together for Sky Sports, David Livingston. And secondly, someone who you probably will recognise, you'll definitely recognise him, described as probably Europe's best Ryder Cup captain, certainly in recent memory. I was actually there at the green in 2002 at the Belfry when he sunk a putt to sink Paul Azinger and win the Ryder Cup. So, and with a few highlights from his own career, winning the Volvo Masters of Valderrama and the Welsh Open at the Celtic Manor. I believe it was the 5th playoff hole in the pouring rain. So without further ado, I'd just like to thank firstly Paul for coming this evening, but if you could put your hands together for the 2014 Ryder Cup winning captain, Mr. Paul McGinley. I hope I've taken up enough of your time, and these gentlemen have a lot more interesting things to talk about than me, but I hope you have a fantastic few days with us. Tomorrow looks really warm and hot. What a field. Rory in the last pair. That's obviously going to be busy. Stenson, he's up there as well. Exciting stuff. If you need anything from me or any of my team, please just ask. Have a great time. Good evening.
Thanks, Russ, and thanks for such a warm welcome to Paul there, because this guy is one of the finest guys I've ever worked with in television, and when you put someone from Dublin and someone from Glasgow together, you could be here till 2 in the morning if we get through some of the things that we want to talk about. But, you know, we'll make it round to some of your questions eventually. But first of all, Paul, I'm sure your golf traveller is so delighted to have you here. We're connecting with real golf fans, the people that make everything for golf, everything for Sky. And this Masters event, you've played in it, we've been here all week. What is the special quality, the special essence of the Masters that we all come here for?
Well, first of all, thanks, Livo, and thanks for all your expertise and help with me sitting on my shoulder my time with Sky. The Masters is incredible. I think I've spoken to a few people here tonight, and I think everybody has the same view. When they come here, it's actually better than you think. Your expectations are so high, and you come and you see it, and it is quite extraordinary. What I love about it is we all know the course so well. Let's start with that. Everybody here, even though you haven't been to Augusta, we all know the course so well from watching it over the years and sitting in our armchairs at home. Know the pin positions, know the greens, know the different holes, know the 13's a par 5, know that 15 is a par 5, know the 16th, know the 18th. And we all know the history, we've seen the great shots over the years. And I think that's what gets everybody engaged more than anything else. And that's the advantage that this major has over every other major, is that it's replicated on the same course.
We could talk in general terms a lot about the leaderboard and the chances and the challenges of everyone going into tomorrow, but I'm sure everyone has one name in the lips here tonight, and it's Rory McIlroy. You know, there's no one around here more qualified to talk about Rory McIlroy than Paul McGinley. He's seen him through from being a boy in the game to becoming the mature guy that he is now, the major champion, and on the verge of something special tomorrow. I know you don't want to get too involved with Rory, but I'm sorry, that's what you're going to do tonight. Okay, tell us some of the things about Rory that you've seen this week that make you think that maybe this is his moment tomorrow.
Well, I think let's start with his talent, and let's take not just my view or your view as who know Rory. If you look at all his peers, listen to what the peers say. from Jordan Spieth to Dustin Johnson to Tiger Woods, they'll all say that the most talented player in the game at the moment is Rory McIlroy, and has been for a number of years. So let's start with that. It's a wonderful place to start. Then you've put in the fact that he's won major championships and he's won on the big stage. He got a sniff of a win a few weeks ago in Bay Hill and came through. That's the second thing. Then you look at what he does as a player. What makes him so charismatic is that he's not a flat line. He's not a Matt Kuchar. He doesn't produce the same kind of top 10 week in, week out. He's up and he's down. And there's always something nice to watch a player who is kind of in and then he's out. And we, you know, certainly on the comeback trail, and he certainly is that case at the moment. And then I think where you see him at the moment, and it started in the middle of last year, where he felt he wasn't taking advantage of all this talent that he had. It's been a few years, 2014 since he won his last major. So there was a sit down and a big discussion among his team as to, right, what are we going to do? What are we going to do going forward? He reached a big stage in his life where he just got married to Erica, and it was his case of, okay, I'm going to really dedicate myself over the next 5 years, the next real window of my career, to make the most out of it, give myself every opportunity to be as good as I can be. So with Erica on board and everybody else on board, what they've done is they've taken away a lot of stuff in his career that was taking energy away from his concentration and his mindset. I mean, just to give you one example is the Irish Open, where he's been the host the last 5 years, didn't want to be the host anymore, called me over Christmas and said, look, I need to get rid of this. I still want to play the Irish Open, but I really want to kind of focus on what I'm doing in my golf. Will you take it over on my behalf, with a view to maybe sharing it with Darren and Graham McDowell and Padraig Harrington over the next number of years, which we've all agreed to do. We ended up having a conversation where all five, there's going to be 5 of us, each 1 year hosting the Irish Open, with Rory being in the 5th year. So that's just one example of him kind of taking stuff out, that's taking mental energy away from him. He'd missed 3 of the last 5 cuts in the Irish Open, and even though he had won, he felt that his energy going there as host was being taken away. So that's just one example of what he's doing. You're seeing another example here this week. Normally Rory takes 2 houses and he puts all his family and his friends into the houses. He brings people over from Northern Ireland, guys he grew up with, all his family come with. That's not the case this week. What he's done is he's stripped everybody away and said, sorry, you're not invited. And he's really focused on himself and his core team to be with him. And that's what you're seeing. So there's 2 examples of what he's doing. We had Ian Poulter in with Dustin Sky earlier in the week, and he talked about something similar, and he put that down to his wife's play so well as he has in the last couple of months.
Well, when Rory finished tonight and got to within 3 of the lead, he was interviewed on Sky. You wouldn't have seen it, of course, but we can tell you that he was concise, he was focused, he was confident, but he was absolutely clear what he had to do tomorrow, and there was no overconfidence. But he said, what happened to me here 7 years ago made me ready for tomorrow and what's going to happen. Do you think that was overconfidence, or is he going to do it?
No, I don't think you can accuse Rory of overconfidence. That's not in his nature. He's not an arrogant guy. The confidence that comes from him is really, really deep. Share a little insight with you. I was covering the World Golf event in Austin, Texas 2 weeks ago. And Rory had just won at Bay Hill the week before, and I normally, when I'm at a tournament, I don't go out of my way to see him, but if I'm walking from A to B and I come across him, whether it be on the range or whether it be on the chipping green, I'll go up and I'll say, look, well done. I won't labour my time with him, and I'll move on. And I happened to be walking from the practice ground to the Sky studio, and he was on the chipping green, and just him and Harry. So I went over and said, look, Rory, great last week. We obviously watched it, it was brilliant. And then we had a chat, and I talked to him a little bit about the Irish Open next year and what I was planning. I didn't want to take away from his practice, and I said, you know, last week was great. I said, it was unbelievable. I mean, just the minute you got a sniff there, you just came through with all those birdies, that flurry of birdies at the end. And he looked at me in a way that he doesn't always look at people, and it was a cold way. And it was, you know, when I get a sniff, I know how to close.
All right. well, he has to beat Patrick Reed tomorrow, and not just Patrick Reed, but there are plenty of other players there, Ricky Fowler, John Ram, maybe even players like Bubba Watson. But what about Patrick Reed? Because we don't want to show any disrespect as some of our
Yeah, we do. Don't be nice.
Some of our American friends in here, I'm sure, will want Patrick Reed, but a lot of American people don't want Patrick Reed to win. There's something about him. But I have to say we like him. So is it going to be between Patrick and Rory tomorrow?
I'll be surprised if somebody comes through from the back. Just going back to, let's start with Patrick Reed first. And we talked about this on air last night. And he got a lot of criticism from his peers and from other people in the media to say, when he won the World Golf event, about 3-4 years ago now in Mexico, in Doral, and he said, you know what, I've just beaten the best players in the world, I feel I'm a top 5 player in the world. And he got a lot of criticism for that. I've no problem with that. You need to have that kind of arrogance, that kind of grit, that belief in yourself to be a top player. And Patrick Reed certainly has that. I'm a fan of Patrick Reed, I must say. I think he's great, and I think he'll be a worthy champion if he holds off Rory tomorrow. Is it between those two? I don't want to defer away from your question, but the big thing is, no other tournament is like this. Augusta National has got the ability to control the scoring tomorrow. Because of the sub-air system, which is like a big suction underneath every green, they can suck the moisture out to make the greens firm. When greens are firm, that's when it plays at its most difficult. We all know that pin positions can be, on every green, can be very easy, where you can take it off the slopes towards the flag, or make it very difficult. So I'm going to be very interested to see how Augusta set up the golf course in the morning, bearing in mind how good the scoring is today. So to answer your question, if this golf course is set up like it normally is, which is birdies and eagles on the last day and lots of cheers and roaring around Augusta, well then that brings in guys like Bubba Watson and Mark Leishman and guys who are kind of 4 or 5 off the lead. Whereas if they don't, they set it up quite difficult, it's going to be a 2-horse race.
Patrick Reed, of course, brings us straight to the Ryder Cup. He was in your Ryder Cup for the Eagles in 2014. He beat Rory 2 years ago at Hazeltine. And of course, you are, Paul, Mr. Ryder Cup. I made a flight with this guy about 5 years ago. We flew from London to Abu Dhabi, and I was going to watch a movie. I listened to him for 7 hours talking about the Ryder Cup. And I knew that he was going to be the best Ryder Cup captain ever, and he proved it at 2014. What is it about the Ryder Cup and you?
I think of it, is there many Irish here tonight? Yeah! Look at you, that's great. I didn't know there was that many, great. Well, for those of you Irish, I take it back to my roots in the GAA. In Ireland, for those who don't know, we have 32 counties. Ireland has got 32 counties. And the Gaelic Athletic Association, which is our game, which is a mixed across kind of between soccer and rugby, you can only play for the county you're born in. So it creates a real parochialness of representing your town, your village, and going up to hopefully represent your county. And I played that to a very high level before I hurt my knee and couldn't play golf anymore at 19, or play football anymore at 19. So a lot of it goes back to that. You know, it's about where your heart is, and my heart is very much in Ireland, my heart is very much in the GAA, and a lot of what I learned there was brought forward. And when I played in team events, yeah, you know, as Ross very nicely said, that I had a really good career, but I really excelled when I got in team events as a player. I love being in a team event, you know, and I've also been fortunate to be riding shotgun with a great period of time for Europe with great players and great captains. You know, Sevi captained me twice. I played under Monty, who's, you know, one of the greatest players we've ever had in Europe, or Lazabal, I mean, Woosnum, Sam Torrance, Bernard Langer, you can go on and on. I was part of not just playing in teams with them, but learning from them when they were captains. So I took all that kind of information as well as my GAA background and kind of put my own little twist on it, and that's what my captaincy ended up being.
So you named all these great captains. Which was the captain that you learned most from?
Well, I'm asked that question a lot, and without being unkind to the others, I answer Sam. I was going to say Tom Watson.
Doesn't even remember his name.
Sam Torrance. Sam was the first captain I had in the Ryder Cup, and how he captained me, how he managed me, he knew me better than I knew myself. His man management was extraordinary. His meetings were not, you know, we expect Sam standing on the rip-roaring, Braveheart on the chest. That wasn't his case, that wasn't his style. But his man management, his understanding of me, his understanding of how to play me, And just to give you a little example, I mean, when I walked across the bridge in the last match, when the Ryder Cup was on the line, you know, he saw me and he grabbed me and he put his arm around me as we walked across the bridge, and he said, you know, this is not just for me, this is for you and this is for your teammates. And rather than thinking, oh my God, the Ryder Cup's on the line, immediately I felt empowered, but he knew me well enough to be able to say that to me and know that it would get the right response.
And you'll all remember the putt that he had to make to win the Ryder Cup. It wasn't an easy one, but tell everyone what you did when you walked up to that putt, what you said to your caddy, and how you did it.
Yeah, you know, we had Ian Poulter in with us in Sky earlier in the week, and we asked him this question about the proverbial zone, being in a zone as a sports person, whether it's a footballer, a golfer, a tennis player, whatever it may be. And I had that moment, fortunately, in 2002 in the Belfry. And as I looked at it, I was about a 12-foot putt. It's like catching fish. The older you get, the longer the putt gets. But it was about 12 feet, and it had quite a bit of break, probably about 2 cups from left to right. And as I looked at it, JP, he was my caddy, who used to caddy for Rory, and he was talking away to me, and I said, JP, basically, out of the way, I've got this. I saw it, I sensed it.
You said, I've got this.
I've got this, yeah. I sensed it, I saw it, I knew what I was going to do. The other thing is, psychologically, I'd hold a great putt to win the 17th hole from about 10 feet, where the hole looked as big as this table, looked as big as a bucket. So I was confident. When I got there, now the hole on the 18th didn't look as big as this, but I was coming off a good place where I just hold a really good putt in 17. I saw what I had to do. So the question is, did I know I was going to hold it? Did I really feel confident I was going to hold it? Quite honestly, no. But what I did know was I was going to hit a great putt. And where I was at that moment in time, rather than being result-oriented, which is not a good place to be, I was, you know what, I'm going to hit a great putt. If it goes in, this is going to be great. This place is going to come alive. If it doesn't, at least I know I'm going to hit a good putt, and I know it's going to come close to holding it. And in my mind, that was good enough for me. It wasn't about the result. And I hit a great putt. Unfortunately, the man above was on my side. It didn't hit a pitch mark, didn't hit a spike mark, and I went right in the middle.
We'll never forget it. We'll never forget how you won the Ryder Cup as a captain at Glen Eagles in 2014. How much is Thomas Bjorn, the captain this year in France, going to lean on you for your experiences?
Yeah, well, Thomas was part of the team in 2014, and I met him last night at the dinner we were at last night, and that's what I said. Look, Thomas, we don't need to speak a lot to each other over the next kind of 9 months, because you were in Glen Eagles, you experienced it, you sensed it. And what's really, really important as a captain is that you have to captain from what you believe in yourself. He's a lot of experience of different captains, just like I did. He was involved, he was part of the team. I captained him as part of the team in 2014. So, but of course, if there's any questions he wants to ask, I'm always available. Of course, I want Europe to win this Ryder Cup. I really think that it's better for the game, it's better for the Ryder Cup if Europe win rather than America. And I'm really passionate about us winning. I think we're in a great race at the moment. So fingers crossed that'll all kind of pan out.
Okay, lots of folks in here want to go to that Ryder Cup. We certainly want to go to it because the venue, Golf National, just outside of Versailles, southwest of Paris, is one of the best venues in the European Tour. How do you think it's going to be as a venue for the Ryder Cup?
Well, it's great. Anybody here played Paris National? Many people played it? Not many, no. 2 or 3 maybe only.
Well, hold on. If you want to go and play it, you can go with Your Golf Travel, because they have packages there. We're going to have a special thing here. And you can go to the Ryder Cup as well. $19.95, the prices start for the Ryder Cup. And anyway, tell them about the venue they'll be going to.
Well, I think it's fabulous. We've been playing, let's just talk about the chances of Europe. First of all, just to put it in perspective, as we sit here right now, I know it's early days, and if I was Thomas Bjorn, I would be hoping this would be August rather than April. But as we sit here right now, the average world ranking position of the European team is 12. When we played in Medina, it was 28. Sorry, not Medina, in Hazeltine, it was 28. So that's an incredible improvement in the quality of our team from what we had in Hazeltine. So A, we're in a great place. B, it's 25 years since America have won on European soil. C, we're playing on a golf course, the Paris National that we're talking about, that we've been having the French Open on since 2001. And D, 85% of President's Cups and Ryder Cups that have been played in the last 20 years have been won by the home team. So it looks like every odd is in our favour. We're in an incredibly strong place at the moment. The golf course as well, it's not a big hitters golf course. The Americans are big hitters, they're not particularly straight hitters. What they did in Hazeltine 2 years ago was they cut the rough down, they put a number of trees out, and because guys like Phil Mickelson don't particularly hit a lot of fairways to play to their advantage. And I've gone through the course many times in Paris National, and the guys like Dustin Johnson, the big hitters, they'll only hit driver 4 times out of the 18 holes. So I think there's a lot of odds in Europeans' favour at this moment in time as we speak, but there's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and September.
You know, there was a function here last night where there were a number of European players and American players, and Ian Poulter was speaking, and he was asked about the Ryder Cup, and he said, I just can't wait for the Ryder Cup. And Dustin Johnson cut in and said, you better get on the team first. So,
Poulter will be on the team. Anybody here go back against Poulter not playing? Anybody here would back Poulter to be on the team? We want him on the team, don't we? Yeah, absolutely. The way he's playing, having won last week, and the way he won in Houston last week, that was huge, huge for the team. So I think we're in a really, really good place in Europe at the moment. European golf is very strong. You take the 4 stellars of Sergio, Henrik, Rory, and Justin. Then you put in 2 other stellars, Paul Casey, who's coming back to play Ryder Cup now. We missed him badly in Hazeltine. Then you put in John Rahm, who's probably going to win a major championship, could possibly win tomorrow, and probably be a world number 1 by the end of the year. There's 2 onto that. Then you put in Tommy Fleetwood, and you put in all the players who have played as well as they have. And all of a sudden you come to 12 players and you go, oh my God, this is a tremendous European team. So we're in a really, really good place.
okay, since we're talking about Golf National, there was a special draw made earlier for a group that could go to play at Golf National prior to the Ryder Cup. I do believe that we have a winner now picked in this one, so this is a big congratulations to Mrs. Alexandra Pick, who has won the chance for 2 people to go play and stay at the host venue of the 2018 Ryder Cup Golf National. Mrs. Pick. Oh, she's coming up. Great. All right, Paul. There you are.
Well done, Mrs. Pick. Come on, I'll give you a hand up. No, it's no joke. Well done.
There you are.
That's you.
Well done. Terrific. You got a couple of months to learn French before you go there. And as I said earlier, if you fancy going there for the occasion itself, speak to some of the YourGolf travel staff later, because there are great packages there to go to the 2018 Ryder Cup and see if Thomas Bjorn's team can win it. So that's all ahead of us. What's more immediately ahead of us is the final round of the Masters tomorrow. So we've touched on some of the players, Paul. You've had some time since we came off here tonight to think about it. What's going to happen tomorrow?
Wow. What's going to happen and what I hope is going to happen are 2 different things. I think, you know, without deferring to your question, I think so much is going to depend on the committee up there who are meeting right now up at Augusta National, right across the fence there, and they're discussing how they're going to set up the golf course tomorrow. Like I said earlier, they have the opportunity to make this golf course incredibly difficult or easy or somewhere in between. And I'm hoping they put it somewhere in between. We want to hear the cheers, we want to hear the roars, we want to see eagles, we want to see birdies, we want to see guys coming at it. If that is the case, and they don't dry out the greens too much, i.e. that bit of moisture that we had today from the rain stays in the greens, I think Rory McIlroy's got an unbelievable chance. My worry is that they're not going to do that. If they dry out the greens and make it difficult, Rory has won 4 major championships. He's won a number of tournaments as well, but he's won 4 majors. And if you look at all his big wins, they're generally on long, wet, soft golf courses, just like we saw at Augusta National today. So if we have similar conditions, Rory's going to revel in those.
All right, wherever you're going to be tomorrow, Rory on, and let's hope we can have him complete his career Grand Slam. Thanks for being here with your golf travel, and thanks for your courtesy to Paul here tonight. Paul is a gentleman of the game, you're the fans of the game, and we've really enjoyed connecting with you, and I hope you enjoy your big Sunday at the Masters here with your golf travel. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you very much, everybody.